Iranian proxies came together for what's being described internationally as a terror conclave of sorts. The Hezbollah, the Hamas, the Islamic Jihad, all of them meeting, and the Iranian president, the supreme leader, on the same day coming out with a very strong statement in support of Iran, against Israel, against the United States, talking about coming out more and more openly in favor of the Palestinian cause, leading many to wonder and question whether it is almost inevitable that directly or indirectly Iran will get further entrenched in the battle against Israel. And if it does, can Israel deal with a multi-pronged attack? Take a look at this report and then we'll get into our big discussion.
Israel's war on terror is getting bigger. With Hezbollah on one side and Hamas and Islamic Jihad on the other, Tel Aviv is fighting a multi-front war. And the terror groups seem to be working in tandem. The head of Lebanon's terrorist organization Hezbollah met with top leaders of the Palestinian terror groups Hamas and Islamic Jihad on Wednesday. The meeting between Hezbollah's chief Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, Hamas deputy chief Saleh al-Aruri and Islamic Jihad chief Ziad al-Nakhala took place in Lebanon. In a statement, Hezbollah said that the meeting was to assert their international position and to discuss what needs to be done to defeat Israel in the ongoing war. Hezbollah also added that every fighter who died in the war with Israel should be treated as a martyr. Hamas and Hezbollah share some common ideological goals and are supported by Iran.
This conclave of the Hezbollah, Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad takes on huge significance because apart from their identity of being Iranian proxies, 19 days into this conflict, it could mean a more coordinated level of attacks to surround Israel.
If Hezbollah, which possesses significant military capabilities, joins forces with Hamas, it could create a more potent and coordinated front against Israel.
As a government, like I said, we are concerned, of course. But then again, Hezbollah knows that war is not a cakewalk for all parties. I mean, even for Israel also. The devastating repercussions of war are, no one wants to go into this scenario. And let's hope that it will not happen.
At the back of this meeting of his proxies, Iran's supreme leader warned that Israeli forces are incapable of confronting the Muslim fighters. Meanwhile, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has defended the Hamas, saying that Hamas is not a terror group, but a patriotic organization.
Şimdi buradan İsrail'e
Israel is acting like a terrorist organization and not a state. This will never be appreciated by us. Israel is not defending itself, but committing crimes against humanity. The whole world must act to stop these barbaric acts.
Şimdi buradan sesleniyorum.
Such an alliance could launch coordinated attacks, engage in guerrilla warfare, and escalate the conflict exponentially. Bureau Report, India Today.
You know, it's being called the Gaza Metro, this massive layer of underground tunnels in different parts of Gaza City, which really are the big imponderable in Israel's ground assault on Gaza. Many of those tunnels have been taken down in the aerial assault, but much of that network still remains. And the biggest question is whether the Hamas will be able to move around these tunnels and create multiple obstacles for Israel as their forces come in.
The horrifying 7th October carnage by the Hamas terrorists armed to the teeth killed thousands of people in southern Israel in the most brutal manner, shooting, burning and even torturing some of them to death. But Hamas wanted to ensure more casualties. Here is how Hamas' terror conspiracy of entering Israel via sea was foiled by alert Israeli forces. Soon after the 7th October brutality, Hamas wanted to strike again, this time with a tunnel attack. An attempt was made to enter into Israel through a tunnel built in the sea. But alert Israeli forces destroyed the tunnel and Hamas weapon warehouse along the route. Hamas terrorists are notorious for their tunnel warfare, using them to attack Israel from the most unexpected locations. Hamas terrorists have even revealed how they planned to execute more attacks on the Israeli soil. Terrorist Yahya Sinwar, also known as the Butcher of Gaza, has revealed how they had planned to execute these attacks.
Today we have hundreds of kilometers of underground tunnels and hundreds of command and control centers that are above and underground.
That's not all. Listen now to how this Hamas butcher also revealed their biggest strength was not their fighters, but these underground tunnels.
What Hamas has done since they took control almost 20 years ago of the Gaza Strip is basically to build a network of tunnels from Gaza City and under Gaza City, which is the center and the biggest part of their infrastructure, all the way down to Khan Yunis and Rafah. So imagine we're looking at the Gaza Strip, but really think of the Gaza Strip as one layer for the civilians and then another layer for Hamas. And what we're doing now is that we are trying to get to that second layer that Hamas has built, by the way, only for itself, not to be accessed by the civilians. These aren't bunkers for the Gazan civilians to have access to when Israel is striking. No, it's only for Hamas.
Let's now take you inside one of these secret tunnels of Hamas. These tunnels, carved out of stone, go on for several kilometers. This is also being used to supply weapons and carry out attacks. A perfect shield to protect the Hamas. Let's now draw your attention to this terror tunnel built around the Islamic University of Gaza. The Israeli military alleges that the door of this tunnel opened at this university. Another picture you see on your screen shows the door of the tunnel next to a school. Hamas has set up a network of tunnels, which means the terrorists first attack and then hide underground in this tunnel built near the school. In another purported video, the Israeli army reaches a mosque. A room in the basement of this mosque is close to a tunnel. It is the same tunnel through which the terrorists entered into the mosque and also hid there to escape attacks by the Israeli forces. Schools, universities, mosques, Hamas terrorists have strategically chosen these locations for their tunnels to ward off any suspicion. It's these tunnels that Israel is now hunting for to break the backbone of Hamas tunnel warfare. Bureau Report, India Today.